Hi everyone, welcome to the session on Agile methodology. Today we are going to see the topic as the requirement management in Agile environment from Unit for Agility and Requirement Engineering. In this session we will understand how requirements are managed in Agile software development environment. Unlike the traditional methods like the waterfall models, Agile focuses on flexibility, customer collaboration, and continuous improvement. Requirements are not fixed at the beginning, they evolve throughout the project as customer needs the change. That's why requirements management in Agile is an important topic, especially the real-time software development companies. So, in this session, we will learn how Agile teams gather, analyze, prioritize, and manage the requirement efficiently through the methods like the user story, product backlog, and sprint planning. Let us begin by understanding what agility really means, why the industry widely adopt the agile practice today. And in the next slides, the requirement management in agile environment. Requirement management in agile focus on flexibility and transparency. In Agile, requirements are not fixed at the beginning. They can change anytime based on the customer needs. So, Agile focus on flexibility, meaning it can easily adapt to changing the requirements. At the same time, transparency ensures that everyone in the team clearly understand what requirements are being worked on and why. Nothing is hidden, everything is open to the team and stakeholders. It ensures that evolving the needs are captured, tracked, and delivered efficiently. Customer expectations may change during the project. Agile helps teams capture these evolving needs quickly and track them using the tools like Jira, Trello. This ensures the changes are handled in an organized way and delivered on time without the confusion. So, unlike the traditional model, Agile treats a requirement as living artifacts. In traditional waterfalls, models requirements are written once and rarely changed, but the agile its requirements are living artifacts, meaning they continuously updated based on the feedback and priorities. Requirements are never final, they evolve with the projects. They evolve with the customer feedback and sprint reviews. After every sprint, the team gets feedback from the customer during the sprint review. Based on the feedback, requirements can be added, removed, or modified. This keeps the product aligned with the customer expectation. It is the centralized management allow the continuous refinement and prioritizations. All requirements are stored and managed in the a central place, usually the product backlog. The product owner continuously refines and prioritizes these requirements so that the most important features are developed first. Every requirement remains visible and up to date. Agile avoid confusion by keeping all requirements visible to the entire team. Tools like Jira, Scrum Board display the latest progress so everyone knows the status of the each requirement. Agile management ensures the traceability from ideas to implementation. Traceability means we can track each requirements from where it started to when it gets implemented and tested. This helps in managing the dependency and maintaining the quality. Teams can link goals, stories, releases seamlessly. In Agile, business goals are broken into the user stories and user stories are planned into releases. This makes it easy to connect the high level goals with the actual work done by the team. The process balances the adaptations with the steady progress delivery. Agile welcomes the changes but not in the chaotic way. It balances the change in the continuous delivery, meaning it the team keep improving the product while delivering working versions regularly. This maintains both the agility and accountability. Even though Agile allows the flexibility, it also assigns a clear responsibility. Every team member knows their roles and tasks, maintaining their disciplines and accountability. In next slide, Agile mindset in the requirement management. Agile emphasizes the adaptability over the strict planning. Agile does not believe in the rigid long-term planning. Instead, it focuses on adapting to changes quickly. If customer requirements change or new ideas come during the development, Agile teams can easily adjust without wasting time. Requirements are expected to change as the project progresses. In Agile, change is considered normal but not a problem. Requirements evolve as we learn more about the customer needs. So, Agile teams are always ready to accept the manage these changes. Our teams adopt iterative cycles to manage the uncertainty effectively. Agile development, as done in the small cycles, is called the sprints. Instead of trying to finish the whole project at once, the team works step by step. This makes it easier to handle uncertainty and reduce tasks. Each sprint serves as a checkpoint for the validation and adjustment. At the end of each sprint, the team reviews the work with the customer. This sprint review is like a checkpoint. It allows us to validate progress, make the correction early instead of discovering the problems later. The Agile mindset values the working software over documentation. Agile prefers delivering the working software instead of spending too much uh, time on writing the lengthy documentation. Documentation still be used, but the priority is to build something useful for the customer quickly. If it prioritizes result that delivers the business values. Agile teams focus on features that provides the a real value to the business first. They don't waste time on low priority features. Every sprint delivers something useful to the customer. Stakeholders stay engaged throughout the process. Stakeholders like customers, product owners, and business managers are actively involved during the development. They give the feedback regularly so that the project stays on the right path. This continuous collaboration keeps everyone aligned. Agile follows the collaborations over isolation. Team members communicate daily, which avoids the confusions and misunderstanding. Everyone knows what is happening in the project. Requirement management in Agile is a balance of structure and flexibility. Agile is not chores. It has a proper structure like sprints, backlog, and reviews, but has also flexibility to adjust the requirements based on feedback. It ensures the responsiveness without the chores. So Agile is fast, responsive, but still controlled. It does not allow the random changes. Every change is discussed, prioritized, and planned. So the project is organized. In next slide, we will see the topic as the dynamic backlog as the core. The product backlog is the dynamic heart of the Agile requirements management. In Agile, everything starts from the product backlog. It is like a central storage of all requirements, ideas, features, enhancements, and bug fixes. We call it dynamic because it keeps changing as the project grows. Without a product backlog, agile development cannot function properly. It continuously evolves with the business priorities and feedback. The product backlog is never final. It gets updated frequently based on business needs and customer feedback. If priorities change, new item can be added, existing one can be modified, and less important items may be removed. This helps the agile teams stay aligned with the real business goals. Every new idea change the request flows through this central repository. If any stakeholder has a new suggestions or change request, it must go into the product backlog first. This makes sure that nothing is lost or forgotten. All work items are collected in one place, making requirement management easy and structured. This keeps the project organized and transparent. Since every requirement is stored in the backlog, the entire team knows what work is planned and what is pending. This avoids confusions and keeps the entire process transparent. Everyone can see what's happening in the project at any time. A product owner prioritizes the items on value and urgency. The product owners manages the backlog. Their main job is to prioritize items so that the most valuable and urgent features are developed first. This ensures that customer receives the highest value early in the project. This drives meaningful outcome each sprint because the backlog is properly prioritized. Every sprint focus on important tasks. This result in meaningful and useful output after every sprint review. A regular backlog refinement session prevent the confusion or duplications. Backlog refinement, also called grooming, is regular activity where the team review the backlog items. During this session, unclear requirements are clarified, duplicate items are removed, and large tasks are broken down. This keeps the backlog clean and easy to understand. They help maintain the clarity and focus. Backlog refinement avoids the last minute confusion during the sprint planning. The team clearly knows what needs to be done and can focus better on delivering the quality work. A dynamic backlog supports the adaptability while preserving the project's direction. Even though requirements may change, the backlog ensures that the project does not lose overall directions. It keeps changing adaptively but still follows the product visions. It is the single source of truth of the team. In Agile, there is no need for multiple requirement documents. Everything inside the backlog. So, if anyone doubt about the project requirements, the product backlog is the one reliable reference for the entire team. And next slide, we will see the traceability in Agile. Traceability links requirement across all agile levels. Traceability means ability to track every requirements throughout the project. In Agile, we link the requirements from high level goals down to user stories and tasks so that nothing is missed during the development. It ensures every feature aligned with our goals and user needs. With the traceability, we can confirm that every feature is being developed actually supports the business goals and user expectations. This prevents unnecessary development and keeps the project focused on purpose. Stories are traced to epics, sprints, and release. In Agile, small tasks are called user stories. are grouped into larger modules are called epics. These are the planned inside the sprints and finally released to user traceability. It connects each story to its epic sprint release plan. This provides the clear visibility, progress, and dependency. Traceability helps the team clearly see how the project has progressed and what work depends on others' tasks. This reduces confusion and improves the accuracy. It helps them identify the impact of changes before the implementation. If someone asks for change in the requirements traceability, let us check how the change will affect other parts of the system. This way, the team can understand impact before making the change. Teams can evaluate the risk effectively. By tracing the requirements, we can identify the potential risk early. If a changes affect the multiple components or other teams, we can plan ahead and reduce the problems later. Tools like Jira, Azure DevOps, and automate traceability mapping. Manually tracking everything is difficult, especially in the large projects. That's why Agile teams use tools like the Jira, Azure DevOps automatically link user stories, tasks, or releases. The minimize the manual tracking errors. Since traceability is handled by the software tools, it reduces human mistake. Teams don't have to manually maintain the documents, which saves time and avoids confusion. Traceability strengthens the accountability and stakeholders' confidence. When everything is traceable, we can clearly show who worked on what and why certain features were built. This builds the trust with the client and management because they can progress anytime. Everyone can see what was delivered and why. Traceability ensures the transparency. If the feature is delivered, we can trace back to see which requirements it fulfills and what business value it adds. In next slide, progress tracking. Agile progress tracking provides the transparency on sprint performance. In Agile, progress tracking is very important because it shows how well the team is performing during each sprint. It gives a clear and honest view of whether the work is tracked, delayed, or ahead of schedule. This makes the entire development process transparent for the team and stakeholders. Teams visualize the progress using the real-time data dashboards. Agile teams use the digital tools like Jira, Trello, Azure DevOps to display the progress on dashboards. These dashboards shows the sprint progress in real time, making it easy for everyone to understand the current status and what tasks are pending. Burn down the charts shows the remaining work against them. A burn down chart is one of the most commonly used in the agile tracking tools. It shows how much work is left and how much time is remaining in the sprint. It helps the teams immediately spot the delays, slow the progress. They highlight progress trends and predict the sprint completions. Burn down the charts are also useful for the forecast whether the team can complete all planned tasks before the sprint deadline. If the chart is happening and action is needed, cumulative flow diagram reveal the workflow. Another useful Agile tool is the cumulative flow diagram. It shows the flow of work access stages like to do, in progress, and done. This helps analyze how efficiently work is moving through the system. Bottlenecks can be identified and addressed quickly. With a cumulative flow diagram, teams can easily identify the bottlenecks, areas where the work getting stuck. For example, if many tasks are waiting to the testing stage, it means testing is overloaded and needs attention. Progress tracking, encouragement, accountability, and motivations. When the team members can see the progress daily, it can increase the responsibility and motivations. Everyone knows what they are working on and how they contribute to the sprint goals. Everyone understands their role in meeting the sprint goals. Progress tracking gives the clarity. Developers, testers, and product owners all understand what needs to be done, and by when this reduces misunderstanding and improves the teamwork. Continuous tracking leads to data driven improvement decisions. So agile teams make the decision based actual data, not guesses. So tracking the progress regularly helps analyze performance trends and make the improvement based on evidence. And teams defines the future sprints based on insights. The insights gathered from the progress tracking are used to sprint retrospective to improve the planning for the next aspirant. This is how agile teams continuously improve over time. In next slide, we will see the version control requirements. Version control ensures the clarity. When the requirements evolve frequently in Agile, requirements change every often. Version control helps us manage those changes clearly by keeping the record of every update. This avoids confusion when multiple versions of the requirements are exist. It records every modifications for future reference. Every time requirements is edited, version control saves it as the new version. This creates a history of change, so we can easily check who modified it and when and why. This is helpful during the reviews or audits. Agile teams use the tools like the Git, Confluence, and version Jira field. To manage the requirement versions, teams use the tools like Git for code, Confluence for documentation, and Jira for backlog items. So these tools help the track changes in the structured way, making the collaborations easier. This keeps all changes traceable and auditable. Traceability means we can follow the entire life cycle of a requirement from start to finish. Since the version control stores every change, it becomes easy to audit and verify work when needed, especially in the large project. Historical records help understand why decisions are made. Sometimes stakeholders ask why a particular feature was modified. Versions history gives the context and justification behind the decisions. It helps the team understand how requirements evolve over time. It prevents the loss of context during the iterations. Without the version control, important requirements details might get lost as changes happen. Version control preserves the original information so that team never lose the meaningful purpose behind the requirement. Developers and business teams stay aligned on requirement versions. Version control ensures that everyone working with the latest and correct requirement versions. This adapt misunderstanding between the development teams, tester and business stakeholders. Everyone works from the same updated source. Version control creates a single source of truth. All the team members refer to the same updated information instead of using the outdated requirements document. So version control supports the continuous improvement with the minimal confusions. Since the version control keeps a structured history, teams can update requirements regularly without the fear of losing earlier versions. This encourages the continuous improvement in Agile project. And the last point is it safeguards against the miscommunications, outdated requirements. One of the biggest causes of the project failure as miscommunications. With the version control, outdated requirements are avoided and everyone has accurate and consistent information. In next slide, we will see the collaboration tools for requirement management. Collaboration tools bridge the gaps between the distributed agile teams. They ensure the continuous communications and transparency. Slack enables the real-time discussions and quick updates. It reduces the delays in requirement clarification. Jira organizes the stories, sprints, and reports in one ecosystems. It simplifies the backlog management and progress the visualizations. Confluence support for documentation, retrospective, and sprint notes. It centralizes the knowledge for easy access. Together, these tools form the backbone of the digital agile collaboration. They make the teamwork efficient and aligned. The role of the product owner. The product owner is the custodian of the agile requirements. They translate the business goals into the actionable backlog items. The product owner ensures the alignment between the customer value and team effort. Prioritization is the key responsibility. They facilitate collaborations between the stakeholders and developers. This keeps everyone on the same page. The product owner also validates the deliverables during the sprint reviews. They confirm that business objectives are met. A strong product owner ensures the clarity, focus, and adaptability across all levels. They act as the voice of the customer within the team. And next slide, we will see what are the challenges in the agile requirement management. Rapid requirement change may create the confusion or overload. Teams must balance the flexibility with discipline. Incomplete documentation can lead to knowledge gaps. Continuous communication mitigate this risk. Misalign priorities between the stakeholders and the team members may arise. Backlog refinement and reviews the resolve these issues. Distributed teams face the collaboration and versioning the changes. Tools and clear communications are vital here. Addressing these challenges keeps the agile management sustainable. It ensures the stable delivery even amid uncertainty. In next slide, we will see the overall summary of this session. So, Agile requirement management thrives on adaptability and visibility. Requirements evolve continuously to match real world needs. A dynamic backlog traceability and progress tracking ensure the efficiency. They create the structure within the agile freedom. So version control and the collaboration tools maintain the clarity and alignment. Everyone works from the latest shared context. The product owner's leadership ties it all together. They balance the stakeholder vision with the team execution. Effective management transformer evolving the needs into consistent delivery. Agile succeeds when the change is managed. It's not fear. Thank you.